Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that could be coming up in the next few weeks, especially if you have one of these sitting around, or maybe one that's been painted on, but you don't really like what you got and you wanted to know what to do with it. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, so stick around. So today we're going to be talking about how to gesso canvas, and gesso is something that is on every single canvas, at least when you get it from the store. If you make your own canvases, which I don't expect anybody is right now, what they are is it's basically kind of like white paint, but what it does is it allows the paint to grab the surface a little better. What it also does is make sure that when you have the canvas on there, it stretches it nice and tight and taut so that when you use it, it isn't just wilting on you and you're not able to push into it too much. Okay, so you'll notice that on the front of each canvas it will have this gesso on it, but on the back it won't. It's a little bit more tan color, and the front is white. Gesso usually comes in white. It'll come in a lot of times it comes in a big container, but this one that I have is actually really small. I got this at Hobby Lobby. It was $5, but you can get it on sale for a couple bucks less than that if you have a 40% off coupon, and it is simply white paint. Okay, so to use gesso, what you're going to be needing is one, a canvas. If you don't have a canvas but you still want to use it, you could use a sheet of paper, but it works the best on canvases because it's designed for that. There really isn't a need to use it on paper. You're also going to need your gesso, obviously, and if you don't have gesso, you can still use white paint and it will still cover up a canvas that you don't like the result that you got. You'll also be needing a big brush, and for this size canvas, or the one that I'm going to be using, this size is perfectly fine. Your bigger canvases, so if you have ones that are a few feet big, so like 2 or 3 times the size of this one, then you're probably going to want a bigger brush. But for a container this small, that wouldn't work out as well. So this is the perfect size. So how are we going to apply our gesso? You're going to need to use several, I guess 2 or 3 coats, and if I'm really going to cover this up, I'm going to want maybe more than that. And when you apply gesso, I'm going to put mine up on my my easel. To use it, it's really not that hard. It's just like painting, and a lot of people really enjoy using it like this. This gesso is kind of old, so it's a little bit stiff. You'll want to make sure you wash your brush out thoroughly after using this, but you apply it just like you would if you were painting. And this is actually, because it's nice and thick, it's going to cover up all this detail really, really well. And one thing to keep in mind when you're doing it, the first coat you're going to be wanting to go back and forth. So you're going to, all your brush strokes are in one direction, and then the second time you do it, you'll be going the other direction. You're really filling in all the spaces, covering up everything that you've done. And what I mean by the other direction is that the first one I'm going left to right. The next time I do this, I'll let it dry for about 40 minutes, and then I'll go up and down. So one thing that you want to keep in mind now that I'm done with my first layer is that you want to wash your brush in between, because letting this sit for 40 minutes to an hour, you're going to actually get it, all this paint will dry and it'll be really hard to get out. So make sure you do wash your brush out in between coats. And for this one so far, it looks pretty good. If it doesn't bother you having spots like that, you could probably get away with only 2 layers. But if this is the first time that you've gessoed this, and if it has not been gessoed before, you're going to want 3 or 4 coats just to make sure that it's tight enough on the canvas, and then you're ready to go. Alright, I'm back and I've added my first layer. It's completely dry after about an hour or so. And so our next layer, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to go, instead of going sideways, side to side, we're going to go up and down. And the reason we do this is simply to change the direction of the paint, and so that they aren't all stacked up the same direction like that. So let's go ahead and get started on the second one. Remember, instead of side to side, it's up and down. So now I'm all done gessoing my canvas. If you haven't washed your brush out, do that. It's really important so it doesn't get stiff. I've added 2 coats, and that's all I'm going to do for this one. Like I said before, if it's a brand new canvas, you're going to want to gesso it more than that, probably 3 or 4 times. And on a pre-gessoed canvas, this is not necessary. This is only if you are re-gessoing because you didn't like what you had on there before. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you next time.